Hi everyone. This video we will visit one of the most colorful, mysterious and interesting towns not only in Ontario but in Canada. We will make the worldwide recognized Thousand Islands boat tour and we will get into an incredible underground spot that will take everybody by surprise. I'll give you a price of everything and show you how to save money while visiting Brockville, Ontario. So welcome aboard and get ready because Canada is waiting for us. So let's get started. Well, the first thing we need to say is that Brockville, Ontario is located 3 hours away westbound from Toronto, right next to the 401 highway. So yeah, Brockville is not just easy to get to. It's actually located in a really unique geographical spot. We are right along the shores of the St. Lawrence River, which is one of the most important waterways in North America. This river basically connects the Great Lakes to the Atlantic Oceans, which means that for hundreds of years, this has been a key route for trade, exploration, and transportation. Long before Canada even existed as a country, indigenous nations used this water as major travel and trade route. It was basically the original highway of North America. Then, in the 1600s, European explorers like Samuel de Champlain arrived here, and this area quickly became strategic for both the French and the British. Fast forward to the War of 1812, and this river turned into a front line with battles and supply routes happening right here. And because of the United States is just across the water, this whole region has always an international importance. So yeah, what looks as a peaceful place today was actually one a key location in shaping the history of Canada. And here is where things get really interesting because just across the river from us, that's actually the United States. We're literally looking at the United States from these sides, and that makes this region very international. But the real highlight of this area is what is out there on the water, the famous Thousand Islands. And a fun fact, there aren't actually exactly 1,000 islands. There are over 1,800 islands spread across the river. And to be officially considered as an island, it needs to stay above the water all year round and have at least one living tree on it, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, right? So, yeah, we are not just visiting town, we're stepping into one of the most unique landscapes in all Canada, and we are about to explore it up close. Well, here at my left, it is the place where you're supposed to jump into the boat that is going to take you to the Thousand Island cruise tour. We're just waiting for the ship to start moving, to hop in, and we will see how it goes. I'll let you guys know how it goes. So basically, if we want to explore the Thousand Islands from Brockville, there are actually several types of cruises we can choose from. The main operator here is the Thousand Islands and Seaway Cruises, and they offer different options. The most popular is the classic sightseeing cruise. This one usually lasts about 1.5 hours, and prices are around $35 to $40 per person, which makes it one of the most affordable ways to see the islands. If we want something longer, there is also a 2.5 hours cruise that goes further into the islands and even passes by castles like Single Castle. But if we're looking for something different and less crowded, there are also tiki cruises, which are smaller, more fun, open air boats, and even dinner cruises where we can enjoy food while sailing through the river. Oh, and this is very important. The cruise season here is mainly from May to October, with peak months begin in July and August when the weather is perfect. So if we want to get the best experience, we should come in summer. But if we want to save money and avoid crowds, early spring or fall is actually a really good option. Well, we're moving right now, so let's see how it goes. All right, but now let's talk about the Thousand Islands boat tour, one of the most iconic experiences in the whole region. The tour usually starts closer to Brockville and head east towards Kingston and vice versa, because we can also take it from Kingston, giving us the chance to see hundreds of islands up close. And remember, each island is completely unique. Some have private homes that look like castles, others are completely natural and untouched, and some even have tiny lighthouses that have been guiding ships for over a century. And fun fact, the islands aren't evenly spread out. Most of the big islands are closer to Kingston, while as we get closer to Brockville, we see smaller islands clustered together, creating these incredible channels and waterways that are perfect for photography. The waters here are surprisingly calm, which makes it really easy to spot wildlife. On our tour, we saw herons, bald eagles, and even a few turtles sunbathing on the rocks. And because this is part of the St. Lawrence River, the water is fresh and clean, making it perfect for boating and even kayaking if you want a more intimate experience. Another interesting thing, some of these islands have fascinating history. A lot of them were summer states for wealthy Americans and Canadians in the 19th and early 20th century, and a few of them even hosted famous visitors, including presidents and socialities, which gives the tour a real sense of old world charm mixed with natural beauty. And here's a cool tip for us visiting on a budget. Some tours offer combined packages from Kingston to Brockville, which can save money if you plan to explore both ends on the river. Also, sitting on the upper deck of the boat gives you the best views of the islands and the river's twists and turns, so make sure we grab a spot early. By the time we reach Brockville, we have already gotten a full sense of how special this stretch of the St. Lawrence River is, an entire ecosystem, hundreds of private and public islands, and unique mix of history, wildlife, and natural beauty all in one trip. And all right, guys, if you are enjoying this kind of content, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any upcoming adventures. On this channel, we explore amazing places across Canada and Latin America, always focusing on low cost travel, hidden gems, and real experiences that don't break the bank. So if you want to travel more, spend less, and discover places you didn't even existed, you are in the right place. Thanks for your support. Oh, and another really interesting thing about this region is that it's still considered one of the most exclusive waterfront areas in this part of North America. A lot of these islands we're seeing along the St. Lawrence River are privately owned, and many of them belong to high net worth individuals, business owners, and families that have held these properties for generations. Even though the Guild Age is long gone, the legacy of wealth in these areas is still very visible. Properties here can reach into the millions of dollars, especially if they include an entire island, private docks, and direct river access. And while the exact numbers are hard to pin down, this region still has a relatively high concentration of $1 million properties compared to other rural areas in Ontario. So, in a way, the idea of millionaires per capita is still very real here, especially during the summer months when seasonal residents arrive. Some of these homes are modern luxury buildings, while others are historic estates that have been passed down through generations. And what makes this even more unique is that in many cases, one island equals one owner. So we're not just talking about a house, we're talking about entire private islands. So yeah, while we're out here enjoying the views and the tour, we're also passing through one of the most exclusive and quietly luxurious regions in Canada. And honestly, it's kind of wild to think how much value is sitting just across the water, right? And now it's time to talk about this surprise I told you guys at the first when we first started the video. And it's about this amazing place that is really nearby the place where we take the 1000 Islands cruise. You just need to walk a few meters towards the city, and you will find this tunnel. It's called the Brockville Railway Tunnel, and it's not just a tunnel. This was the first railway tunnel ever built in Canada, completed back in the 1860s. And at that time, this was a massive engineering project designed to connect the waterfront with the interior of the town and help move goods more efficiently. But what makes it really cool today is that we can actually walk through it. The tunnel is about 500 meters long, and as we go inside, we'll see these light and sound installations that bring the history to life. It's almost feel like we're stepping back in time, but with a modern twist. Back in the day, trains used to pass right through here, carrying materials and connecting Brockville to the growing railway network across Canada. And now, it has been transformed into a public space where we can experience that history up close. So yeah, this is one of those places that you don't expect to find in a small town, right? But once you're here, it becomes one of the highlights of the entire visit. And now that you made it this far in the video, I'm going to give you the information about exactly how much I spent on this 1 day trip to Brockville, Ontario, with the hotel, with the tour, and with food, which was pretty much everything that we spent here. So let's check it out. Okay, for 1 night hotel, I spent $70 for one person. But well, it was a double accommodation, but because I was with Danny, so I end up paying my part. It was $70, right? And then for the Thousand Islands tour, I end up paying $43. That's for one person. Now for food, we end up paying one lunch the day we got to Brockville, one dinner. The breakfast was included on the hotel, and we end up paying the lunch for the next day. So that's $45 per person, because we end up just eating in regular places like Popeyes and burritos and all that kind of stuff. So we don't complicate for that. For a big total of $143 for everything that we paid in Brockville, Ontario with the tour. So what do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that it's worth it to pay this money to come here to this place with all that we have seen today? Or do you guys think it will be more worth it to spend your money in some other place? Please leave in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys like the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow on my social media. I really would like to hear from you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.